Friends, Sengol in Tamil, scepter or simply a staff. And in English, it's called staff, right? Simply staff. This has been shown in the news in the past multiple times and probably will continue to be there for a long time to come. It is supposed to represent authority and sovereignty. In many parliamentary systems across the world, a ceremonial mace is used as a symbol of authority during parliamentary proceedings. And the mace represents the authority of the legislature and is often placed in front of the speaker or the presiding officer. Friends, why was there such a hue and cry over the installation of a Sengol a couple of years back? Doesn't it represent the power of democracy? That's the topic for discussion today. Monarchies were dismantled long time ago. Or is it because history has been corrected or created? Whichever way one might want to see. It suddenly caught the attention of the common man when the ruling party priced it out, praised it, and revered it and adopted it as a symbol of transfer of power. Throughout history and mythology, many cultures have revered scepters as symbols of power, leadership, and divine authority. They felt fascinating stories about the whole activity, and they even tell stories, fascinating equally, of symbolism attached to them in cultural or historical context of their times. A run through history reveals why our Sengol too must find its place under the sun. The British monarchy has a ceremonial scepter, the scepter with the cross, traditionally carried during the coronation ceremony. It is one of the crown jewels of the United Kingdom and symbolizes the monarch's temporal authority. Be it the legendary golden scepter known as the Sedna in Irish mythology, brought to Ireland by the mythical Father Block people, by which the Irish kings sought authority and legitimacy from its supposedly magical powers, or the scepter of Anubis, the god of the dead afterlife, and the judgment of the souls. Be it the legendary golden scepter known as the Sedna in Irish mythology, brought to Ireland by the mythical fur-bowled people, by which the Irish king sought authority and legitimacy from its supposedly magical powers, or the scepter of Anubis, the god of the dead of afterlife, and the judgment of souls, or Osiris, the god of the afterlife, shown with a scepter as a symbol of divine authority and protection in Egyptian mythology. They all often depicted holding a scepter, a long staff topped with the head of an animal associated with power and divine authority. Asclepios, the deity of healing and medicine in Greek mythology, has a serpent entwined around the staff that he carried. In ancient Rome, the fasces were a bundle of rods bound together around an axe, symbolizing the authority of magistrates, and were carried by lictors as a symbol of their power and ability to enforce the law. And in Chinese mythology, the Jade Emperor, the powerful deity who rules the heaven and the earth, often is shown holding a golden staff, symbolizing his divine authority and power. In ancient Egypt, the Paravas held a ceremonial scepter called the Heka that represented their power and authority over the kingdom. The Pope of the Roman Catholic Church holds a ceremonial staff as well, known as the Papal Ferula or Papal Cross. It symbolizes his spiritual authority and role as the head of the church. In Japan, the emperor holds a scepter called the Shaku or scepter of the chrysanthemum and is one of the three sacred treasures of Japan, representing imperial authority and legitimacy. Even the Mongolian leaders, including Genghis Khan and subsequent Khans, held a staff called the Noya or scepter of authority. In Indian history, various dynasties, various kingdoms such as the Rashtrakuta, Pala, Chola, Mughal, Ahom, Maratha dynasties or Vijayanagar and Brahmani kingdoms, they all had their own scepters that symbolized royal authority and sovereignty. Hindu scriptures and mythology too have numerous such examples. Lord Yama, the god of death and justice, is often depicted carrying a staff, called the Danda, that represents his role as the Lord of justice and the dispenser of divine retribution. Have you not seen a scepter in the possession of every university, carried by either the registrar or the controller of exams during convocations? Sengol could be just a symbolism, but symbols have the ability to inspire, heal, and transform, provide guidance and clarity in times of uncertainty. Each culture often, imbues these objects with unique symbolism and significance, reflecting their respective beliefs and systems of governance. However, is interesting is that they all represent authority and legitimacy and often have fascinating stories and symbolism attached to them. That being the case, will governments now install customized Sengols every time there is a change of government, a change of power? That also will be a story in itself worth telling. Doesn't posterity demand it? With that, friends, I've come to the end of the Sengol presentation for today, with the belief that I'll be back the next Saturday with another episode that will be equally interesting. Until then, thank you, Dhanyavad, and Namaskar.